Hey universe, it's my day off. In fact, I've got the next 2 days off. And as such, I am working through the clutter, trying to erase all the junk. And to do so, I have to mine it myself for any nuggets of wisdom that may be present. And I will start this off by saying, if I were to quantify my purpose, it's to establish meaning in this universe. That's what I'm trying to do in these recordings, is to give myself enough reflective texture and inspirational thought, meaning I'm not trying to guide my thought, I'm letting it rise from stream of consciousness splatter. In doing that, I hope to find within my own mental journey, through conversation between me and my wall, okay, and my dog and my cat, but finding meaning in life is something I have put as my main priority, I think, since I've been able to think and reflect about what I'm doing here. I guess maybe that's what everybody's doing, right? In our own way, we're trying to hammer out the disorientation it is to manifest in a reality of 3D time and space, where we are the agents of both ultimate change and non-impact. I can go manipulate this world in whatever way I see fit. And yet, I keep feeling less and less relevant in the grander scheme of things. Come on, Phoebe, that's a true paradox. Can't be growling at the paradoxes in life. And yet, I know that wasn't a growl. Phoebe doesn't growl. You burp a lot, Bubba. You got some gastrointestinal issues. But you certainly don't growl. Nope, you don't get frustrated about not understanding the meaning of life. And if anything, that frustrates me even more. Why are you so happy every day? Just getting up, chilling, being a cool cat. Nope, you're not a cat. And that cat's not cool. Okay, so those are the kinds of nuggets we're trying to mine through to find anything of value. Well, the reason that I even felt I had something of substance here to pursue is that for most of my life, I went and chased down the cues of meaning, purpose, and a good life, as I was told by those I gave enough credence to think knew what they were talking about. Well, I chased down the academic route. I chased down the capitalist route. I chased down the consumerist route. I chased down the American dream. And it wasn't a nightmare. It just wasn't fulfilling, ever. It was as if I was trying to wear an identity as a person who could find meaning through consumerism, and it just never fit. And I'm not saying I didn't have the moment of cha-ching when you spent $1,000 on something irrelevant, or you set up a stereo system in your living room that could blow the entire car doors off of a 1975 Chevy. I just, at some point, wondered, what's the need, right? Like, why am I doing this? It's the music I love. Am I trying to get a better connection to the thing I love here? Do I need to listen to 7.1 Bluetooth surround sound movies? Am I trying to create a reality in my own living room because I can't deal with the reality that is my life? I don't know. I started having these true existential crisis moments where I could look at my life and see the meaninglessness of it. And it was in those moments, I guess, I knew that I was being the least true version of myself. That I was literally adhering to and following the directives I had been given by other people. I was under the influence of a society that I think, when I get right down to it, I don't agree with a whole lot of what we're up to. And so, if you like to say the word "so" to give yourself a moment to think, I believe we have something in common. But not feeling like I had much in common with the world, especially those who seem to be ascending into our positions of leadership. They just seemed like caricatures of real people. And I knew exactly what I was talking about when I said that. Because I'd spent most of my life as a caricature, figuring sooner or later I would put on the right costume that would fit the right role, that would make my life seem meaningful, because I would step on a stage and think, this is why I'm here. I kept looking for a reaction or a circumstance in which to place myself that meaning and purpose would emerge, because I didn't know that they were sitting inside me. I didn't need to measure myself up against everybody else in this universe. No. In fact, I didn't even want to. I was forced into that paradigm early. By the age of 6, I'm getting grades as to how well I'm doing, just like everybody else. How'd you measure up? Well, I got this. Oh, they think you're better than me, I guess. Well, maybe you are better than me. How early we're trained to think that this is a game of comparison between ourselves. Do you know how dumb that is? Do you know what happens in circumstances where kids have not yet understood that they're being measured? Well, they all think great thoughts about themselves and everybody around them. Because we're all great. Until we start believing that we're not. And that was the biggest moment of reckoning I'd ever had. Because it let me see that it was the entire system that had messed me up. I'm a gullible little boy. I'll say that. Because for some reason, that authority appeal is extreme for me. If somebody in a position of knowing or established recognition for understanding tells me something, I'm going to believe they're telling me something that's in the best interest of me toward myself and the community toward itself. I don't think our leaders are out to get us. And if you like that... Okay, pause. Damn it. The trash truck just went by, which reminds me I forgot the trash. But I'm sure I forget the trash more often than I remember it. Because another advantage of living single is how little trash you create and have to manage compared to, say, a family of 4. Oh my God. Between laundry and trash, I don't know how you people do it. Okay, but getting back to the idea of the authority appeal, if you're susceptible to listening to what other people have to say instead of listening to yourself, and we get messaged early on that authority trumps inner voice, that reason trumps intuition, that calculation trumps observation. How many studies have been done to prove the unreliability of eyewitnesses? What do you think that does? It makes you believe that what you experience in your own frame of reference and reality isn't trustworthy. It is oftentimes mistaken when put to the test. Oh, well, shit. I guess I'm at least potentially problematic. Or am I fundamentally broken? Or am I not even able to trust my own reality? Well, how stupid is all that, right? Like, you just get caught up in these doubts, filled with uncertainty, beginning to even question whether or not you might be the problem, the agent here that is doing the damage and causing all the issues. So, when you go looking for messages that reinforce that, oh, well, yeah, that shit's aplenty. What do you want to know about the reasons we think you suck? Come look at any Facebook group and let us show you people who have galvanized together, because together they don't feel so weak. They don't feel so exposed, so open to being filled with the doubt that comes with truly believing in yourself. Why is it so hard to reconcile your inner voice with the reality you're experiencing? Why do you have to say to yourself, I didn't mean that. That's not me. Why am I doing this? I don't even want to be doing this. All those curious moments of disconnect from what you're up to are real. They are the sort of accumulation of I don't know how to quantify the belief that you have messed up. Because what do you have to do to make your life better? What is your power to engage to turn something around? How do you decide to stop letting life be this way because that part of life doesn't work for you? What do? Well, first, you have to believe in yourself. And these are the two things that are sitting there as obstacles that sometimes you don't even recognize. One, that you're worth it. How is that an obstacle? Because 90% of what will get you to quit is feeling that you don't deserve whatever betterment you're chasing. The other thing that can deteriorate this initiative is you chase the wrong outcome, like money or one-upping the room, your neighbor, your spouse. Because even if you achieve those goals, the value you think they have is wrong. They don't. In fact, they can be setbacks for time wasted or hollow pursuits realized that create doubt in your ability to ascertain what even has purpose in life. And of course, these are not experiences everybody goes through, but minor versions of these are unfortunately experiences everybody endures. Nobody I've ever met hasn't had the realization of chasing the wrong dream, the wrong goal, being told the wrong rewards were awaiting anybody who would put the time in to realize these outcomes. Well, that's not advice that works more often than it doesn't. In fact, the one thing that's true about humanity is all of us are different. There is no fingerprint that is identical between us. And since we all experience reality in our own way, since we all have our own version of what it means to be here and experience life as we experience it, nobody can tell you how to make it better. I certainly can't, nor can anybody else. Which is why you have to stop caring what anybody else thinks and only listen to what you know is true inside yourself. How are you composed? Are you built to be malevolent? Or are you still reacting to ways that you were hurt unjustly at a point in time where it scarred you? It's easy to look at the world and feel like something out there has broken something in you. But none of that's true. The reason you have an inner voice is because you are an independent agent from the reality that is out there. That independent voice matters. You don't get to dismiss it and pretend that somehow that's not the only truly valuable critic the universe gave you to care. The noise coming from outside yourself is just that. It's noise. And if you can't stop caring about what that noise is saying, then you have no chance of realizing yourself while you're here. Because that noise doesn't know shit. Because it doesn't know you. It doesn't know you entirely. Because only you do. So when that gets uncomfortable, because that individual experience of unique composition in a universe full of people too scared to experience it and readily conforming into groupthink and group identity, well, that's your advantage. That's when you know you're standing somewhere spiritually more ascendant than the group. Because once you're willing to say, this is who I am, I do not group up in any way, and I stand on this island with the firm conviction that I'm here for a purpose, it's amazing how much of the inbound stress, the disappointing gaze of a civilization telling you you're not good enough, you didn't measure up, how much of that washes off? You no longer have to deal with feeling like I'm to blame. I didn't do good enough. I could have been better. No, you couldn't have. You couldn't have. And living in a way that you think you could have is the dumb shit part. Stop it. Go live a better life by having a better life. It is so simple, it's stupid. But the only thing you have that matters is the moment you have in this exact time right now. So, any shame, any guilt, any feeling of regret, any I could have done better, any that's not who I was, that's not who I am, that's not who I want to be, well, there's nothing you can do about it but change right now, right here, right this minute. Stop being anything other than your true self. And once you have the confidence that you have established who your true self is, then bring it to the world and share it wide and loud. Because your true self is what makes this planet sing. Every version you bring that isn't exposed as who you really are, well, that makes this planet shut down. And look where we stand today. We're masked up. We're afraid to get out of our house. We don't want to talk to our neighbors. We want to report them to the authorities. We don't have community. We have calls to believe. There is fear among us because we don't know how to relate anymore. And nothing makes me weep more than that potential loss. Because I'm here to understand everything is hard, but everything's harder than it has to be because of us right now. So if we're going to make this a better place to be, you've got to believe you deserve it. You've got to believe that you're here to enact it. And then you've got to believe that sustaining it will matter. But you start with your own life. If those three things are true of your own life, then the community at large is gaining. All of us are gaining. Believing in yourself, believing that you're worth it, and believing that you can enact a better world, I mean, that fixes everything for all of us. Like, big time. That's all there is to it. And yet, we keep making everything so complex, so convoluted, so filled with the idea of me and what I'm trying to do to prove I'm the best among us, that we have given up on the greatness that can be there. No one person gets to ride out life at the top of the wave. It's just not how it works. That person eventually collapses the wave, and the experience had for everybody involved, well, here it is. So I do this because I know bringing out the real me and sharing it with the universe is going to make a difference. And if it makes enough of a difference that I convince other people to try it, and somehow that becomes a new way of thinking through your daily routine, is how much of my day was I able to adhere to my real self? I can't imagine what we're capable of. In fact, something tells me that if we can get our shit together now and collectively understand that we're here not to one-up each other, but to lift each other, I think the universe is literally waiting for us to experience at the highest possible engagement. I really believe that. I believe in all of you. So much that I'm doing this in spite of all my insecurities and misgivings that none of it is even of interest? Probably not. I mean, when you get right down to it, I'm a pretty boring guy. Right, Kitty? Yeah.